What's up, Vankers?
Cheerio, Vankers.
How is everybody doing?
How are you doing? I'm doing good, baby, because we're back. We're back.
In enemy territory.
Behind enemy lines, where the bias reigns king, where the bias does its thing. But you know what? We're here today with a man who we know is objective. Yeah, he's a content creator. Is he a journalist? He's everything in between. He's been a friend of the pod. We've only seen him through the airwaves and through the digitized world of the internet, but now we see him in the flesh, and he's looking cute. His name is Tommo, and he's on the pod. Welcome, Tommo.
Better in person, lads? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it works both ways. Sometimes you're not sure if what's a bigger insult.
I don't want to come on too strong, but we all go out well, lads. I think.
Yeah, it's like sometimes people will say like, "Oh, you're so much better looking in person."
Yeah,
I'm confused at what's the insult.
Yes.
It seems pretty backhanded. But,
Right.
Boys, it's a pleasure to be here to represent the bias
That's right.
of Britannia.
Yes.
We're here 33 degrees in London as well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what that means.
It's... Oh, yeah, you're Fahrenheit, ain't you?
Refuse to learn.
Fahrenheit makes no sense. I'm sorry. Please justify this.
Guys,
Zero
we can't
freezing.
start this podcast with a Celsius
We
versus
can.
Fahrenheit
We can.
conversation. No.
We can and we will.
No. We have important things to discuss.
30 is a
Okay.
small number. It's not.
No, not in the
see,
UK,
when it's
though.
hot, it's 90. That's
Nah.
that you see
Right,
that's
right.
a high number.
So we could I'll say, I don't want to do this, but I will. 0 for freezing makes sense.
yeah.
Thank you.
But like 40 for the hottest day of the year is stupid as well. 100 when it's hot is like,
No, 100 is boiling. When it's literally the water boils,
That's
and
good.
evaporates.
But we don't live in.
Yeah.
We're not trying to think about. We're looking at our day-to-day life. We're not.
yeah, it's like if I was a scientist with a beaker in front of me, I'd be
Yeah.
like, this hits.
Look,
but
in the comments, please let us know.
Yeah.
I don't want to
What
step
side are you
outside
on?
and say
Okay?
it's so hot, it's 40. No, I want to step outside and be like, it's a fucking 100 degrees out.
You say you're roasting your nut off, is what you'd say. Is that? Do you know what that means?
I mean, I can
to roast your
Context
nut
clues. I think we
Put
can
two
figure
and two
that out.
together.
Yeah, you say nuts plural. That's
Right.
something very different. But nut would be head.
Oh, you're.
Oh.
Yeah, for roasting your nut off. So
I see.
you've got to learn the lingo, boys. If you're gonna come all this way, and thank you for flying over to rural Britannia.
Well,
Britannia all the way.
we got a lot to discuss. We're here in England. Silverstone's about to happen, but we want to talk about the season so far, and we want to do a driver tier list, how these boys have been doing. We're the red flags. He's Tommo. Let's talk about it. All right.
That's so bad.
No, it's not. It's
so-
literally not, mate. Let's talk about it. Come on.
All right, guys,
All right.
comment below if it's good or bad. We'll let
All
we still live in a democracy over here, so we'll let the people decide.
All right. I think we should start. We'll do it by team because I want a driver which driver gets which rating. We'll start with who's in last, which is currently Alpine, is it not?
In the
Yes.
constructors,
Just
Yes.
pull up the constructors.
11 points.
What the hell is going on? Because before this year started, it was like Alpine and Williams, watch out. And now it's just like, I mean, Williams was looking sexy there for a second. Now they're looking like a mess. And now Alpine's been a mess the entire time.
I mean, what, De Meo's gone? It was the big dog who'd been consistent for years now. He'd overseen a bunch of these team principals coming in and out.
Right.
Ollie Oakes has gone, and that was kind of mysterious, wasn't it?
Oh, where in the world is Ollie Oakes? We kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, he's still at High Tech, which is like the F2 team. So he's still present in the paddock.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
So what happened there?
They've not talked because his brother was like...
His brother was arrested.
Yeah, and it was something to do with like maybe money laundering. Allegedly.
Yes.
So allegedly,
Yeah.
this is all alleged. Hang
All
on.
alleged.
I'm covering my back here.
Yeah.
It kind of just got swept under. I mean, look,
Because there was
personal
talks about
business,
him
fair enough,
replacing Christian Horner.
Yeah,
There was like all these,
yeah.
like he's the young,
Hot guy.
hot prospect, and now all of a sudden he's
and because it was so hush hush, that just made the rumors, I think, more
Yes.
like strong. So you've had all this like rigmarole at Alpine over years, like changing engine to Mercedes for next year is obviously a good thing because they've been down on power for years. But mate, I feel for Pierre. You know what I mean? I feel for Pierre because
Yeah.
Pierre cooked in 21. he was like one of the strongest drivers on the grid, and now he's in this team, almost where Albon was with Williams, where you're a great driver, but you've got unproven teammates that are kind of coming and going, right? You've got Colapinto doing, maybe Paul Aaron, he's in FP1 this weekend for Sauber for some reason, which is weird. And yeah, Pierre's struggling to thrive. I think the team at Enstone is solid, but the management carousel is just too much, man.
Yeah, they keep underperforming, I feel like, because like Pierre will get it into Q3 like 90% of the time, and then spin or do something to crash, and then they're having trouble filling that second seat. Where do they sit in the pecking order? Do you think they're in a deserved? Do you think that car is in a deserved last place?
I think now that Sauber have found pace, I'm sure we'll get on to Sauber, but like, yeah, there is no clear worst car right now, I don't think. I don't think you can, and it depends, in Austria it was absolutely steaming. It was so hot. So you got these weird, and then you had George a minute behind the winners, but then he wins in Canada.
Right.
So I think that's the case at the back of the field as much as it is at the front as well. You get these wild swings. Like the Haas was pretty slow in qualifying, but then Esteban got a point in the race from P17. Hulkenberg went from P20 to P9. Yeah. So I don't think there is a convincingly worse team. But if it is any, you've probably got to say Alpine. They've got a power disadvantage compared to everyone else.
Right.
So.
Which there's been talk next year when they've got the Mercedes power unit. Gasly's like, I'm going to be competing for a championship, and I'm like, all the power to you, my friend, but we'll see if that happens. All right,
hope so.
Let's give the team a tier, a grade, and then let's give these drivers a grade. Where would you put Alpine?
How low are we going?
I mean, on a curve, I feel like someone's got to get an F at some point.
Yeah, I mean, the team, and I apologise to anyone at Enstone, because I think the people at Enstone are clearly doing a fine job making that car not look absolutely embarrassing with a power disadvantage. But the team, and you have to measure that by their success and their failures at senior management level, it's got to be an F, surely.
Yeah,
an F. Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
What do you reckon? Like all these stakeholders, like Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Reynolds, what are they thinking?
Yeah, they're like, what did we do this for? This is what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, they probably thought that this would be like the Wrexham situation.
Yeah,
that everyone's talking about over here,
thinking.
Probably, or I don't know. I don't really pay attention to soccer, but they thought, we'll come in here, we'll add some Hollywood judge to the place, and it'll turn around because I'm Ryan Reynolds, and everything I touch turns to gold.
They underestimate the incompetence of Renault, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's also one of these things where, you're with a football club, or even when there's 12 humans on a pitch, there's just a higher ability to
just throw money at it.
Throw money at like the training facilities and all this, and people, I want to play here now, and camaraderie and real teamwork in a way where it's just like this power unit. I don't care how much the team gels and likes each other. At the end of the day, when you're that much slower on the straight, there's only so much you can do. So I think they brought their like American enthusiasm to the very like harsh, things are just what they are world of Formula One.
It's like Ted Lasso in Formula One would never work.
Never work.
Come on, guys! Like, believe in yourselves. Like, we can't make the engine any better. Like we can't just with our warm hearts add 10 kph on the straight.
It's like when you put stripes on your car and think it will add like 10 brake horsepower.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's play darts with the engine, with the power unit.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't really work that way, Ted. All right, so Gasly, where would you put?
Oh, mate, I feel like I feel for him. I don't think we're able to see what his level is. We know how good he can be. We know how good he was, especially the end of last season. I think Esteban started to get a bit disenfranchised with that team. And maybe just give him a C. I want to give him benefit of doubt. I don't want to be too harsh on Pierre. The results haven't been there, but he is a top driver and he's in a very unfortunate situation.
He's been making some mistakes recently. I feel like he was a B, but earlier
I feel like quali, he's maybe like a B plus or an A minus, and then like come the race day, he's been getting lots of crashes.
I just think but where the team is, I don't know. I want to give him benefit of doubt. I'm going to be giving benefit of doubt because I think it's such a rubbish situation he's in, and this merry-go-round with that other seat as well, and Briatore coming in, and swinging his thing around like nobody's business. Like it's like. Yeah. It's a new generation, and I don't think Briatore's way is going to work. I guess we'll see. But
what do you mean by what is his way?
I mean,
selling a second seat to the highest bidder, or
I think it's in the same way that Bernie has an approach to Formula One, Bernie Ecclestone, like that, you know, you can't argue with the fact that Bernie took this sport from where it was to this huge commercial project that obviously Liberty have taken further. But Bernie served his time.
Yeah.
You know, you see these quotes, I'm not interested in anyone other than you can buy Rolexes to like. So that's not the approach that was going to keep the sport relevant and maintain the sport going forward. He had his time, he did what he did, and then he got out, I think, at a good time. I think Briatore is very old-fashioned. We're seeing this kind of approach that he takes that, yeah, it worked for Renault in 2005 and 6 when Fernando won his titles. But I think he is...
And Benetton.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, with Schumacher as well.
Right.
Like, and I think that worked in that moment. I've not seen... Yeah, we've seen so many examples of a new generation of approach to Formula One. Again, a cost cap F1 as well. It's not the same sport as it was back then. And I just think, like, I'm yet to see Briatore's approach in whatever role he has. We don't even know. Like, DeMayo's gone. DeMayo signed him.
He's a floater. He's a floater.
But he's floated. He's the puppeteer at the top as well, right? There's no one more senior to him. Renault haven't rehired someone to replace DeMayo, so I don't get it.
Yeah, he must got some compromise.
I think that's a grenade waiting to go off. I do, like the Briatore situation. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of on the, like, we all knew that at some point Elon and Trump were gonna. We all knew that was gonna happen.
Yes,
just like when you have a person with certain personality types. You know, I you know, like Briatore's like he's one of these guys. He's kind of like, you know, something's gonna, and right now it feels like he's killed off everyone. And at some point, are they gonna, you know, he's gonna walk into that room like Joe Pesci and go, "Oh fuck!"
And right, they've got nothing to show for it. They're bottom of the constructors, and Colapinto's had another difficult weekend.
All right, wait, let's go to Colapinto. Where would you put him?
I mean, probably a E.
After the Falklands, you're going to give Colapinto an E.
Don't you start, all right? Don't look. Colapinto did an amazing job at the Williams.
Yes,
you can't turn down the opportunity, right? To go to Alpine.
Yes,
but it was always going to be a bit of a messy situation. You got no preseason testing, right? His different power unit, different environment, different person in your ear. Like it's so different. So, but it's not been particularly. It's been no better than doing. Right? Would you agree?
It's about the same.
Would you have put doing in that same?
Yeah. I think so you get rookies who can come in and make. Kimi Antonelli, I know he's had messy bits. He also put it on pole in the Miami Sprint. Like, Hadjar's been amazing. Like, you can be a rookie and come in and make an impression, even in a midfield team. I think Hadjar's proven that you can do that. Behrman's done a good job, I think, and Bortoletto, obviously, now he's got points. But even before that, I think Gabby had shown promise. And Doohan and Colapinto, I'd probably rank them both about the same. Like an E for me.
What would you do with that? What would you do with that second seat?
I would. That's a fantastic question. Look, what I would say, I think Colapinto has got the potential. I think he's in a challenging situation, right? Yeah. Again, no preseason testing, kind of chucked in at the deep end in a team that's struggling anyway. I think we saw enough from his, you know, him relative to Albon at Williams was pretty impressive. I was shitting it a bit. I'm not going to lie.
You were panic.
I'm an Albon fan. I was like, bro.
He was racing him closer than Carlos Sainz.
He's younger than you. He's got a much bigger fan base than you. Like I was concerned, and then he started to crash, and I was like, okay, we're fine. but like I think Colapinto does have the potential to get better. So for me, it's like you've made that decision. Now just stick with it and give Franco the chance.
Well, it's a question that you brought up, Briatore, right? It's like what we've seen this year very clearly is like the different approaches to how you deal with young drivers. You look at how Mercedes treats Kimi, and then you look at how Red Bull treats its junior drivers. You look at how Alpine treats its young drivers. And it feels like with a guy like, you know, I feel like, you know, it's sink or swim with the Alpines and with the Red Bulls of the world. And, you know, for some guys, for one guy, Max Verstappen, that seems to be like the way that it works. And for a lot of other people, you maybe need more of that nurturing care. And it's a question of whether Briatore is the right man for a Franco Colapinto.
But it's even worse at Alpine because it feels like when you and I go karting and we pay for our time. It's like, well, it's your time. Like, you know, do what you can with the 30 minutes we're giving you. And you're like literally paying a race.
Franco's bringing the bag.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's like your countryman Logan, right? I think Williams gave him a season and a half, which was, I think Logan had potential. There were times where he was quicker than Piastri in F3, right?
Yeah.
And it just didn't quite work out for Logan. It's a shame, but I think James Vowles gave Logan that opportunity and knew by the end of it, right, we've given him a fair crack of the whip. It's not worked out. I think 18 months is plenty of time.
Well, now we say that. Now, after what's been happening, we've moved the goalpost a little bit. Back then, we were like, well, is 18 months enough time? And remember when they switched? Remember when Albon slammed his car in? They gave him Albon's shitty car, and they were like, "Well, it's over now. Like, there's no way he could mentally recover from that."
No, I go on my channel. I thought that was out of order. I thought they should. I didn't think that was worth it because I think if you're gonna, Williams were fringe of points last year. I think. You got to give your young driver the best opportunity to succeed because it's in your best interest, isn't it? Right. To be like, is this driver definitely not for this opportunity? Like, look, I said this at the start of the year. I think Liam Lawson getting 2 races in the Red Bull wasn't enough because you can't say with absolute certainty that he wouldn't have turned it around. I don't think 2 races is enough. I don't think 6 or 5, whatever Doohan got, was enough.
Yeah.
I think 18 months for me, I think that's about. Right, at least a year. I think a year at a bare minimum to actually know without any shadow of doubt, right, this guy's not worth my investment of any more time.
So Yuki will have until Japan next year because that will be a year.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll get there in a second. Okay. Vankas, this episode is brought to you by BetMGM. Come see what's new at BetMGM. Score bigger when you win with boost tokens, odd boost tokens, and more. Even if your bet doesn't hit, we've got you covered with no sweat tokens. Sign up with BetMGM today and you'll have access to countless betting options, including new look, same game parlays, teasers, live bets, and so much more. Take advantage of these offerings and be sure to use the bonus code DADDY when signing up to receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. This is an exciting season. Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, who's going to finish? Who's going to win each race? Where's Yuki Tsunoda going to wind up? You can bet on all this with BetMGM, so do it today. Use the bonus code DADDY when signing up, and again, receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. See you out there, Vegas.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 and over only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Next on the constructors list is we got Stake F1 team Kick Sauber. They've been
looking feisty.
They've been looking feisty recently.
They've turned it around a bit.
Yeah.
Considering where they were last year, and where they started the season, the upgrades? I guess Wheatley, Mattia.
I think it is upgrades that were a long time coming because they've got a decent structure now. Because you've got Mattia focusing on the stuff he's good at.
Right.
Remember when he was at Ferrari back in the day, right? He was the technical guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't the team principal. That just wasn't his thing. Wheatley's been there, done that at Red Bull for years now. So you're getting the best out of Wheatley, you're getting the best out of Binotto, you're bringing upgrades. I feel for Joe and Bottas. I'm not going to lie. Because they spent the last 2 years in an absolute shit heap. And now Bortoletto and Hulkenberg are reaping the rewards almost of the patience that they had, and I think Bottas maybe deserved to stick around. I think Valtteri said, he was driving at his best at times last year, but I think it's promising for the Audi project for sure. But I feel for them too. I do.
You could say that Nico Hulkenberg is a bit like Sonny Hayes.
You could.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of that look
and
about him.
And then Bortoletto is a little bit more like JP. And they built that car for combat.
Stop. That word. Are we doing spoilers on this for the F1 movie? Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. People got mad that we were talking about it. It's spoiler alert. Get over
it. Combat.
We did
combat. Come on.
Honestly, it was. I shriveled inside. I think I lost years off my life with that. It was awful. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of gave me a bit of USA vibes. I'm not gonna lie, lads.
They were definitely going for that.
It didn't hit. Not gonna lie.
But there's just cars built for combat, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
that seems to be what the Stake. It feels like they've got these great guys. Binotto, Wheatley, And then we're starting to see the fruits of that labor.
Bortoletto's did great in qualifying. Where did he finish? P6?
He was P8,
and then he finished the race P8
close to
as well.
P6 though, very close.
Yeah.
Like on another day.
And then I don't know. I mean, no one was paying because we actually had a race in the front. No one was paying attention that Hulkenberg did like a Max Verstappen Brazil drive.
Bro, he could.
How the fuck did he pull that off? That was crazy.
Yeah, I think Nico, they've got a great driver with a lot of experience that I know the podium thing will get held against him. It always does. But he's so good. We saw it so many times. And when he put that racing point, when he was subbing in for, was it Lance, wasn't it? At Silverstone, and put it P3 in qualifying.
Yeah.
Are you mad? Like, that's insane. Yeah. Like, this guy's so good. And I think Bortoletto's going to learn a lot from Hulkenberg. I think, Audi, because they had Seidel, didn't they?
Yeah.
Forget the Seidel thing, and it just kind of didn't work out.
Seidel keeps getting thrown out, and then the team just explodes.
The team goes great after he leaves.
It doesn't reflect great, does it? I'm not going to lie.
No.
But I think, Bonotto, they made that. I remember when Sauber made that decision, they dropped Seidel, and I was like, shit, this could go bad.
Yeah.
But I think they've been really smart, and I think Bonotto, Wheatley, they know each other really. I was listening to the Wheatley podcast. They play off each other's strengths. Bonotto's strengths are Wheatley's weaknesses, and vice versa. So, I'm feeling a bit optimistic for Audi, and that battle for there's about 12 mil, isn't it, per position in the constructors, and there's very little points separating P6 to P9. So it's big money.
All right, so what
are you giving? What are you giving them?
Sauber, I mean, recency bias, obviously,
right?
Double points, but then Hulkenberg scored 3 races in a row, I want to say. So I'm going to give them a C. I'm going to give them a C. They've done well to from where they were. They've recovered, right? They were awful the last couple of years. So I'm happy with that.
I'm with that as
well.
We'll
go on C+. Yeah, I'm giving him a little.
Yeah, he was the one that was in the room last. Bit of recency bias there.
Yeah.
But they've looked great, and honestly, grading on them on a curve this year compared to the last however many years, it's
Well, because how are we doing it, right? Because how are we grading? Like, I mean, we're cutting ahead, but like Ferrari's technically doing better than Sauber, but like who's when you grade them against their expectations? I mean, Sauber is like an A+, and Ferrari is. Yeah.
I mean, you've got to grade them relative to their... Because Sauber were also under-delivering for a long time with their factory being what it was, with their history. Like, they shouldn't have been as bad as they were.
But Sauber's never been good, except for the BMW years with...
but like...
They've never been good.
They didn't really have an excuse because they still... I know money was a problem, but they still had way more staff than a team like Haas and a way better facility. Like they still... So it's like, why were they where they were? And remember, they started 22. That Alpha was sick. Bottas was consistent points at the start of 22. And then their car just didn't progress at all.
And they had the when the pit stops were 7 seconds each pit stop, that
operationally,
kind of so they've gotten back to like, all right, you're not embarrassing anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you on C. Okay, let's go to the drivers then. Hulkenberg.
What do you two think? Go on, you go first.
I mean,
B, right?
High B,
B.
If not low A.
I think B. I think B's fair. I think I would. I think he's not been quite as impressive as he was last year. I think last year he was really strong in that Haas. I think Bortoletto, I've been keeping track of like quali deltas, and on average, Bortoletto's been within a 10th. Now, is that Bortoletto overperforming? Is that Nico maybe? It's a new team for Nico as well, so you've got to add that caveat. So I think a strong, solid B, not minus, not plus, but I think B.
I like it. All right, and Bortoletto, because I mean, you've been looking at the deltas in terms of quality. He's been close, but now this last race was the first time he really like put the whole weekend together. Was able to get that kind of race experience. Okay, this is how I like make to the whole weekend. Where would you put him?
I want to give him maybe a B minus. Because again, he's going into a team that's like started this season, come off the back of some really bad years. Again, this upgrade has transformed that car, but they were still rubbish at the start of this year. So it's always difficult for a young driver. But I think as much as it's taken a long while to get points, I think his performances have actually been pretty strong. So I think B-.
Yeah.
Leto.
I think he's been kind of invisible for a lot of the season, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because we've seen guys in the back that were our rookies be very visible, whether it's Logan Sargent.
Yeah. But usually sometimes it's not a good thing to be visible. Because it's like you're crashing all the time.
Exactly.
You're drawing attention to
We'll talk
yourself.
about Kimi Antonelli.
So it's like no news is good news. So yeah, he has been, he's either been good like the other day, or he's just been like, I forgot that he was even racing. So
I feel like he's C+ to me. I feel like he's like still in the C's. I think that like he had, I came in really kind of liking him, being like, oh my God, he's, come from F3, F2, like Fernando, he's got the Fernando Alonso seal of approval.
Yeah,
true. Which goes a long way. But I feel like he's still, this is the first weekend where, exactly, like that I've been like, oh yeah, him.
Yeah, that's
even though he's been close to Hulk on with the Delta, it's still like, Hulk's been, it's like that extra bit of like getting into Q3, getting into Q2, like that he's not been able to do.
And it's like with Oscar Piastri, he was within a tenth or two of Lando Norris, and everyone's like freaking out and out qualifies him occasionally. Everyone freaks out if you're within a tenth or two your rookie year of Nico Hulkenberg. Like, what does that get you?
Yeah, a lot of it depends on how highly you rate Hulkenberg,
right.
doesn't it? What I will say, I think a rookie can come in and be very, very quick over a lap. And I think the real challenge for the rookies is how quickly you adapt to the Pirellis, managing a stint, managing your emotions, racing wheel to wheel with some of the greatest wheel to wheel racers of all time. Like, that is the bigger challenge, I think, for the rookies.
Well, because I remember asking Liam what the hardest thing for him was before he got in the Red Bull. And he said that it was getting the tires warm for a qualifying lap. He said that
the tire prep,
the tire prep for qualifying thing, he thought was harder than maintaining his tires. So I think
and you, to be fair, because you hear that a lot, like drivers being like, "Oh yeah, the tires weren't in the window," blah blah blah.
Right.
So then it's like I reckon some cars are probably easier to get to that window than others.
Right.
Because like the Mercedes takes so long to get. Sorry, the Mercedes gets up to temperature so quickly. That's why they're so good in Vegas.
Right.
Because it's freezing.
That's why they're bad.
It's terrible anywhere else.
On any heat in the tires. All right. Well, you're the guest of honor. Well, we'll go with B- for Bortoleto. All right. Next is Aston Martin.
what's going on with them? I don't know what to make of them.
I really don't know what to make of them this year.
I mean, they bought an upgrade, didn't they? Fernando's looked competitive top 10 last few races. They bought an upgrade similar time to Sauber.
Newey decided to be like, all right, fine.
He said he was giving his lunch breaks. Literally. He's like eating his pasta, and people are there like, 2025 car, help us, Adrian. He's like, fuck off, I'm eating. Like, I think that, I don't think you can really. That they should have been. And I say that about Sauber as well. They've been underperforming. Like, you look at where they were at the start of 23.
But they got even more facilities in Sauber.
That's what I mean. They've got even less.
Brand new
How
facility.
far they've come from Alonso scoring podiums a couple years ago.
Bro, remember when he almost won in Monaco? Like, Fernando could have won that race. Like,
he was
got a little bit
the
luckier.
most unbelievable part of the F1 movie was that clip of Fernando Alonso on a podium. I was like, what the? This is the oh my God. And then I'm like, that happened in real life.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I didn't need to CGI that. I think that it's all about building for the future. Ultimately, they know that they need to give Fernando a car to fight for a title in 26. Because he's not got long left. Like he said it himself, right? He's weighing up how much, his investment in F1 going forward. Do you think he'll stay around to his 50?
That's a classic loser statement. Like we're focused on next year. There was I don't know if you follow basketball.
I do.
But for years, there was a team called the Sixers.
Okay.
They still exist.
Yeah. Like,
but they were iconic because they would like tank every year. This guy, Daryl Morey, his big strategy was like, we're going to suck for years. And we're going to just like compile draft picks. Yeah. And we're going to draft this guy, Joel Embiid, who's never healthy. So then we can even suck even more because then we're going to play. And there was this thing called like trust the process. And their excuse was like, we're focused on like, we got a 5-year plan.
Right.
But it's interesting, and they never won. And
Well, then
there's something
Fernando had that El Plan. Remember?
El Plan, right? Trust the process. But
Although that's when he was at Alpine.
Right.
So-
The plan didn't work out.
right. So this whole, and then Alpine had this, like, we got a 5-year plan. We got a
Yeah,
10-year
yeah.
plan. It's like, sometimes, like, just excusing losing in the short term because you have this long-term plan, you're allowing a culture to set in that
that is a good point.
that's
point.
hard to turn around from.
Yeah.
We're gonna just suck for years and then we're gonna turn on like a light bulb.
Yeah.
Next year it's like no. You have to sort of practice operationally how you plan on playing later.
Yeah. No, I mean that checks out. I think as well, being able to bring upgrades that actually upgrade the car. Because Aston bought so many last year that were like side, if not downgrades. And like, why is that happening? Obviously, your correlation with your wind tunnel, with your CFD isn't working. So that's a problem. Yeah. You need to identify that problem before it then manifests in the 26 car, because then you're up shit creek without a paddle.
Well, there's been a few, because it's Dan Fallows, right? Who's that?
Fallows, he was technical.
And he was at
he came from Red Bull.
And then the guy at McLaren also came from Red Bull.
Right? Rob Marshall.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like, it's like, Bill Belichick, there was like his coaches, people like, from a great coach, you want like his staff. Everyone's like, oh, I want the guy that worked under the tree, the coaching tree. And sometimes you can maybe like dictate your greatness by like how your underlings do in the real world. Yeah. And I feel like there's probably competitiveness.
Yeah.
And so it's like, from Newey, got Fallows and Rob Marshall, and it's just like, all right, well.
Yeah.
There's a clear winner there of like who is the greater technical mind in terms of who can get the shit done.
Also, there's a lot of talk about, like, at Red Bull for years, there was talk about, well, he's not really doing that much. There's a million other geniuses that are bringing...
Right, about Newey,
that are bringing their own expertise. And Newey's, like, not day to day. And actually, this guy Wache is the new genius. And now he's gone. And where's Red Bull?
Yeah.
Fucking nowhere.
I think it is, Newey wasn't just... technical genius, but he was kind of a figurehead almost, and you can't underestimate the impact of someone like him leaving and how that affects the rest of the team. But I think to chalk it up to one person, it is always going to be wrong. Like, you need, was it David Sanchez, who's now at Alpine, went from Ferrari to McLaren, and then quite quickly McLaren were like, you're great, but you don't fit in our system. We've got this structure with Prodromo and Marshall and all these. We've all got all these pieces in place, and it's working. And even though you're great as an individual, this ain't going to work. And then he went to Alpine, because that's literally like down the road from McLaren. So and I think he's been doing pretty well. He's bought a good upgrade last year for Alpine, and there's
it's hard to say where their aero package is, right? Because their engine sucks.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and no one else uses that engine,
right?
For good reason, because it's shit. So. I don't know. Hard to say.
Where would you grade this team and these
Aston
gents?
Martin? I don't know. They're D.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
that's nice.
Yeah,
because they have one driver who just doesn't look like he wants to be there, and
he's got a fair amount of points this year.
Well, level on points though. Alonso and Stroll, 14.
Yeah. Don't think it'll be that way by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But yes.
Somehow I don't. I mean, Fernando is able to be competitive. Like, he could have got P6 in Austria, like it is now, but again, relative to the expectations of where Aston Martin should be, certainly what Lawrence Stroll would have envisaged. Jesus Christ, they're nowhere near that.
Yes.
Yeah. I think D is appropriate for the team.
Yeah.
D.
And Alonso.
I think, honestly, like, what more? I think Alonso's excellent at maximising the package underneath him, and to be still doing that at 43, whatever he is now, give him an A-.
A-. He's made a few mistakes, few spins.
He has.
Uncharacteristic mistakes this year.
He has.
Maybe he's overdriving the car.
I feel like it was when this car was kind of like in a worse spot, and he was then like spinning. When it was Fernando Alonso spinning with like no one touching him, I was like, "What world are we living in?" That was
Spain. I think Spain when he
and
went on the gravel.
I think in Miami he had one maybe.
He spun more than Lance this year.
He's had a couple, but also he's delivered some top performances.
All right, so you're saying
he's put it together.
You're putting low A. You're saying low A.
He's over 3/10 clear on average.
Yeah. I think every single qualifying session he's out qualified him. So
it's a head to head of like 20 something.
All right, I like an A- for Fernando Alonso. Lance Stroll.
I don't know.
Well, he's got the same amount of points, so A-.
Lance,
A-.
I think. Look, he obviously got good points at the start. He actually started the season all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but it's been so like just I think a C maybe because of the start of the season, maybe saving him a bit.
It's interesting. We've seen this a couple of times when the Aston like falls off a cliff. They're like Lance Stroll excels, and then when the Aston is good,
Right.
he's nowhere. Like that's when he's close to Fernando's when the car sucks.
What's the like as Lance is kind of representative North America on the grid? Like, is
Nobody gives a fuck about him.
cares.
no one cares.
But no one even cares. No one, because I think the American F1 fan is it's an exotic escapist thing.
Yeah,
Right.
Like we don't like when I hear an American person speaking on an F1 channel, I'm like, get me Davide Valsecchi. It's like
that's valid.
if I want to hear an
right.
American accent, I'll watch football. I'll watch American football. I'll watch basketball. But it's like traveling.
You know.
Yeah. And I think, we were just in Canada. We were like asking some of the Canadians who we met there were like, Lance Stroll, and there was like, I'm a Lando Norris fan. Like, fuck like it's one of those. All right, I think a C is fair, given that they are technically level on points. I think by the end of the year that grade might go down. But if I was given a grade right now, I think a C is on the money. What do we got next?
This episode is brought to you by True Classic. At True Classic, the mission goes beyond fit and fabric. It's about helping guys show up with confidence and purpose. Their gear just fits right, feels amazing, and is priced so guys everywhere can step into confidence without stepping out of their budget. I love my True Classic tees. You can wear them to the gym. You can wear them on a date. You can wear them anywhere. They're versatile. They fit great. They make your arms look bigger than they actually are, which we're always trying to do. They get my shoulders looking broad and my waist looking snatched. True Classic make great clothing for every occasion. I've been wearing True Classic for a while now, and you can feel the difference the moment you throw one on. Tailored where you want to feel it, relax where you need it. No bunching, no stiff fabric, no BS, just clean, effortless fit that actually works in real life. And it's not overpriced. Ditch the overpriced BS. Ditch the disposable fast fashion. True Classic is built for comfort, built to last, and built to give back. And you can grab them at Target, Costco, or head to trueclassic.com/redflags and get hooked up today.
Haas.
Haas.
F. Next. No.
No bias there at all. That's
Yes.
look. I think I was at Haas today.
Yeah.
I was there this morning. Had a little tour around and made sure to. I would say, look, when you see that team and the infrastructure and the personnel, the lack of personnel in terms of numbers, 350 I think they have compared to next smallest is Williams with like 1,000. Like Haas to be respectable is a win, I think, for them as a team. Whether when it was Gunter at the wheel, whether it's Iona out the wheel, I would say they're very peaky. They can have weekends where they're nowhere, but then like Austria again, great drive from Esteban to come through. I'm going to give them I think B, actually. B for Haas.
I don't think that that's necessarily wrong. I mean, I think that they've been exactly as you said, peaky. It's like sometimes they're looking like the Haas that we know, and then other times they're also looking like that. I feel like that's.
What do you mean the Haas that we know?
But it's been.
What does that mean?
Haas's.
Elaborate on that.
It just feels like this has always been kind of like Haas's deal. Like they're never consistent. Like even. Of course, they've had like the few seasons where they've been like really bad the whole time, but even in their seasons where they got 5th and 6th, they're still.
But
They're
Gunther
still
was focusing on the reg change, which was
chaos.
totally fine when Gunther does it.
They were just tanking the current just to focus on the future.
Yes,
Interesting. I heard that one.
Yes.
So yeah,
I think
everyone's
fair.
forgetting that the Haas would always qualify well, and remember when K-Man got pole, guys?
Yeah. Remember when Haas qualified amazingly and then just dropped like a stone?
Yeah.
And then in Austria, you got Ocon qualifying P17 and moving up to P10.
Right.
So that's pretty impressive. Like that kind of turnaround.
If you're into Sunday performance.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's
If you go
how
in
we're
for
going to
that.
measure these
If
things.
you go in for
fine.
some people
if you're
prefer,
that way inclined.
some people prefer the Saturday. It's kind of like a time trial.
Saturday show.
Like Saturday is its own event kind of.
And they're very close. They're the closest teammate pairing on average in qualifying. Ocon and I think you've got to credit Haas to that.
Hold on. Let me push back a second.
Go on.
On. Under the Gunther regime,
Oh, here we go.
They finished what, sixth
propaganda.
or seventh before that. What was their best finish in? Was
Ever?
it ever?
Come on, if you're going to prop, you got to
I
have
think
the you got to have the numbers.
2016, I think they finished 5th.
They finished fifth one year, and this is pre fucking cost cap. It's a whole other game now. And then when they were really sucking, that was when they had no money during the cost cap era, and he was having to take on Mazepin.
What's the point here, Matt?
The point is you can't grade current Haas against the years of Gunther because he didn't have the cost.
Am I?
No, you're just
I'm
filling in the. You're,
I'm fighting shadows.
yeah.
You're literally, you've created a monster and you're fighting
I
them.
literally wake up and I go, there was no cost cap. There was no cost cap back then.
Bro, I know this.
It's not the same.
I was in the
Because you're getting
trenches
a vi-
defending Albon for years.
Yeah.
And now he's cooking against science, and I'm so fucking vindicated. I get it. I get it.
No, but
right?
you know, but you get it. But you get a sense, like, you know, when Ted Kravitz or these pundits are talking, it's like just the way Haas is run. There's like a lot of like shade, being like it's just different energy over there. You know, like it's just you can feel it. Maybe I'm paranoid,
No, I think
but I
there
don't
is-
think I'm crazy.
I think
don't
there
think
is-
I'm
I think
crazy.
there is a like, you know, like we got Gunter out, and now like now we're a serious. Now it's a serious team over there. But if what this year feels like is kind of like lots of Haas years, so it doesn't really feel to me like like now. You know, I think people can want to throw the like, well, now that Io's in there, now they got Gunter out of
Because
there.
he looks the part, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like an engineer type.
Well, yeah. Regardless of whether this is like correlation doesn't always equal causation, but like Gunther was a big character, Drive to Survive, loved him, got a lot of, you know, there's a reason he's doing these like live shows and doing so well for himself because people
he's doing really well.
He's killing it. Right?
He's doing awesome.
He's killing it. He's co-hosting a great podcast, right?
Yeah.
And so then Io, as like you say, is an engineer coming in.
Right.
It's easy to make that, oh, well, Gunter was just, you know, he wasn't a proper team. Now we've got a proper team principal because he's an engineer. Like, it's easy to make that. So you got to understand why people make that assertion, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
Because like you say, like Haas have consistently, yes, they've had terrible years, but they've also consistently had, like, they came out the gates flying, and Gunter built that team essentially, like with Gene's money. He basically did it himself. So it's like you have to, you can't then, like, you can't forget about that.
Right.
When if you're going to criticize Gunter, you can't forget about those early years where he was actually doing an unbelievable job with this team.
Yeah, I think that's why it just feels like
Just that part, and then nothing else. Everything
feels like
else
a
is covered.
classic Haas season.
This paid message was sponsored by
It just feels like a kind of classic Haas season to me. So, and that
I do think you're right.
In that
I
way,
do
kind
think
of
you're right.
deserves.
And where are
the
they?
peak.
6th?
They're 6th currently.
And it's so close as well, points wise.
Yeah. And it's the end of a reg set. I think, like, you know,
I think
They're
Racing
seven.
Bulls
They're
just jumped them. Yeah.
Yeah.
7th.
That's a dogfight. That's harder to predict, honestly. The bottom 5 is harder to predict
than
than
the top.
than
All
the
right,
top
so B for Haas is the team. What about Ocon and Behrman?
I mean, Ocon has got a lot of points. I'd say as well going to a new team.
Yeah.
For him, like he's bounced around a bit in F1, but I think going in, I think he was actually a really shrewd signing for Haas. I'd give him I mean, to be honest, I think I'd probably give him an A- as well. He's scored a lot of points. Big drive. He's done it for a reason, and a new team for him as well. Like, I know Ollie's a rookie coming in; it's a new team for him, but I think Ocon, given how he's adapted and fitted into that team, I think he's done a really good job.
All right, you're rating Ocon. Then where would you put Ollie with regards to that? Because at times he's felt like he's been right there.
I'm big bias because he's my boy. He's from where I live, so like this.
Different
you've got to take it as a
accent,
pinch of
though.
salt. No, that's the thing. He doesn't have the Essex twang.
Yeah,
that
he
I
does
do
not.
at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I think when I think Essex, I think Love Island. I don't think Ollie Behrman.
as you should. Yeah. No, that's kind of.
What
why-
did you think of
why
that
we're on the
outfit
map.
as a kid from Essex?
Yeah,
The outfit that he wore to the F1 premiere.
bless. He looked so lost. He looked like a little lost boy.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, look, I think Ollie's, the drip will come with time as he
He's a handsome kid. He looks like a fucking Armani model.
Bro, he's so mature as well. Like, I interviewed him at the start of last year. So this is before Saudi, before he jumped in the Ferrari. It was before the F2 season had started. And he was still 17 and he was so mature, like clearly very, very talented. Like Ferrari have seen something in, and that's why they've given him, helped him get this opportunity with Haas. Like he will. I mean, look at. I'm not being funny. When Lewis was 22, like he had some interesting haircuts
moments
for sure. But Lewis was like going for a thing. All he looked like it was like the first time he'd ever worn a blazer. He was like, "Where do I do?
That's what I mean.
What do I?
It's like a lost boy."
Yeah.
I love
all right, but okay. So he's mature off track. He's mature when you talk to him, not necessarily in his dressing style. But what would you give him for? Okay, you got Ocon at A-.
I think probably B- for Ollie. Like he's made a few mistakes. I think Alcamax just said this. Like he's got his fantastic moments, but also he does. He's having a very rookie season. I think Ollie is like a stereotypical rookie season, but it's within half a tenth basically of Ocon. And I think Ocon's great.
But Ocon's never been as strong at quality. He's always been a better race pace guy, I feel like, than a...
Yeah, I mean, look, he got that Monaco podium, didn't he? And he put P3 in Monaco a couple of years back. Like, he can deliver a lap, but I agree, he's not known for it.
He's like a savvy racer.
Yeah, he's very, very good wheel-to-wheel, unless it's against Pierre.
When's that going to blow up? You talked about, like, this is like powder keg waiting to go off with Briatore. It's like, feels like Esteban Ocon, it's got to happen at some point.
I don't know, like, because a lot of people like 5-second penalty for Ocon's like a meme for a reason, isn't it? So I don't know. I like to think Esteban has learned not like you're not fighting for your life in karting, where because I really I love Esteban's story coming through. Like his family like sold the business, like they fully chucked everything in. They literally put everything on the line to support his career, and I think that affected how he went racing. And I think is effective.
And he did take
this last time,
and he did take a time. And he did take time off.
We debated this quite heavy last time, actually, Matt. I remember.
I know. What did I say? Something brilliant.
We were not. You weren't on boards.
I was. Yeah, lots of guys didn't come from mine.
Yeah, you were like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing
it.
when I probably said I'm not a big Esteban guy.
And I am. I'm a big Esteban guy, so I'm here to represent. And I think that.
Yeah, the thing that just made me think of is kind of like a kid who's. Like had to scrape for everything. Exactly. It's had to be that, and now he's like carried that. Yes. This is how trauma represents itself. Trauma isn't a feeling. Trauma is a reaction. That's how trauma presents itself.
Damn, that was powerful.
Damn.
Honestly.
And so it's like he's still at times he's still like that kid.
Yeah.
It's like I need to win this race.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that's probably got him to where he is,
right.
but it's now holding him
and
back.
At what point,
in some ways,
exactly. At what point the thing that
balance,
the thing that you did to get through your difficult situation now holding you back.
It's kind of the same thing with Alonso, right? He's like he's kind of like a I hate to say a poor man's Alonso, but they both came from nothing. They both were brutal. They both had to work really hard to get to where they were, and they have no quarter for. They brook no opposition, and that's what happened. And he had dysfunction. There was dysfunction in McLaren twice.
Yeah. True.
He was thrown out of McLaren. He fucking got dumped. He fucking dropped McLaren twice.
Yeah.
He's Alpine twice.
He loves to set a building on fire and walk away from it,
and then rejoin the building later.
Bro, wasn't he spotted like 4 times at the Alpine motorhome a couple of weeks ago? Like,
oh, really?
Now he's Briatore and Alonso are
right. He might end up going back there.
And let's not forget how Esteban Ocon got fucking fired from Alpine.
It's like your mate who just keeps going back to his toxic ex and he won't stop. And you're like, please stop
He got fired because his fucking car had the tracker on it and they saw that he was trying to fucking cheat on them.
He was at Williams.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No.
Dude, they saw that he was taking meetings with other teams.
Esteban Ocon,
Ocon,
right.
Yes.
It's like, don't take the company car.
Yeah, that was
I want to be Esteban Ocon's therapist is I think what I've realized today. And so, Esteban, hit me up. Okay.
Did I think Behrman? Yeah, B minus
Behrman, A minus Ocon, and
people won't like that
Haas.
one, but I'm taking it.
Next, we've got VCARB,
the bulls that race.
The bulls.
I think my preseason predictions, I put them like last. So they are overperforming my expectations, absolutely. I think Hadjar's been like amazing. Like, what a breath of fresh air, man. Like, especially after such a, Australia, what happened. But I think he's been like, not only on track, but off track. I think Isaac's vibes. You got to get him on.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Keep knocking on that door.
We're
got to get him on.
seemingly talking to him this weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've had this very interesting year. Obviously, he's been such a breakout, but then they've had a bunch of times where it looked like they were going to score points, and then strategy and all these other things.
Operational.
In terms of the operations, it feels like they've got a decent car in their hands, other than get the rest of the kind of like engine of the team, running smoothly. That seems to be kind of the question. And then this last week, all of a sudden, Liam, has maybe gotten a little bit of the monkey off his back, and he's finally entered the chat.
I hope so. I really hope so, because obviously, it's been a far less than optimal start because he missed out preseason because he was preseason for Red Bull. Same with Yuki, obviously the other way around. So I think that, you're right in terms of like operationally, they've let themselves down a few times, and with the resource and the connections to the Red Bull they have, but also they're the one, Liam. We've seen many now races. I don't know what the stat is, but where Hadjar and Lawson are finishing higher than Tsunoda in a Red Bull. Right. So like they have built a very, I think, pretty complete car. It's pretty unlike Haas is a bit
big
peaky,
window.
I think and I think Hadjar's, which is great for a junior car, but it's not great when it doesn't adequately prepare your drivers for the senior.
Right.
So it's like at a certain point you have to think, what is the point of this car if it's not a finishing score to get you to Red Bull?
Yeah, Red Bull needs to decide.
Maybe do they need to make the VCARB shittier to prepare them,
or more on a knife's edge?
More on a knife's edge.
It's like,
I mean, they need to, like, the next regulation set, right? 26. Red Bull need to make sure that they make a car that can't only be driven by Max,
right?
And if they're going to keep this second team, which there's no reason why they're not going to, they're moving things over to Milton Keynes. Like, they got to make sure that is not only a good car on its own, but it adequately prepares you. Otherwise, what's the point in having it as a junior team, right?
Yeah, and you have a junior team. And didn't Christian say something to the effect of we'd run one car if we could, or something like
Wasn't
that?
Wasn't that Checo was interviewed or something?
Yeah,
I think he maybe said that Christian said something to that effect. Yeah.
He quoted Christian as saying that.
Yeah, I mean, if they could just run it's 3 VCARBs and 1 Red Bull, they'd do it, surely.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's crazy that
Max Verstappen, they'd also do that.
It's crazy that the team that really has one driver, it's like a one car team, also has a junior team. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Where would you give what grade would you give?
I think Racing Bull's probably they're still, they're still sixth. So yeah, probably like a B. Yes.
Yeah. And if they can get their strategy together, I mean, they could be actually challenging for that.
They've left points on the table.
Yeah, they've left a lot of points on the table. Yeah. And then our two boys,
Hadjar, man. I mean, the way he bounced back after Australia, the mental fortitude that must have taken him, and how he's been like in qualifying super consistent, delivering. Like, he had damage in Austria, which didn't help his cause, but he probably was top 10 that race. I think, maybe we'll save an S, but I think an A+ for Hadjar for me.
An A?
Hadjar had so little prep as well. Hadjar and Bortoletto had barely any like TPC relative to Behrman, relative to Antonelli. Like, they were extra rookie.
Yeah, thrown in.
Yeah.
And for Hadjar to come in so last minute, because it was a pretty late call, like, for him to be as good as he has been, I think he's got to be A+.
Yes, I love it.
I love it.
Gassing it.
Loving that. Okay, where would you put Liam? Obviously, definitely a different.
Mate,
different story.
I've given him clanger like 3 times.
Yeah,
and of it, the community clanger, he's got like 4. So he's had some big stinkers, but obviously the circumstance hasn't been. I mean, it's got to be like a D. Really, like, it's not helped at all if he'd had a preseason. Something with Liam as well. Like, he's on the other side of the garage than he was last year. It's easy to think, he's back at the same team as last year, but Isaac's got his race engineer from last year, so now he's on the other side, and that kind of even something like that, performance engineer, race engineer is huge, and that's all changed for him. So I think it's not ideal, but also he has, considering the impression he made when he replaced Ricciardo, was like cooking like really, really good. Everyone rightly was like, this guy needs a seat, and then he's had this big setback. Gasly and Albon went through the same setback, and it's tough. But I hope this can't be a result in isolation. Austria, he needs to keep doing it because Lindblad's there.
Do you think that Hadjar's in the Red Bull next year?
No, I don't think. If I was Red Bull, if I was in charge, I would keep the same lineup for next year.
That's right. Yes.
And you are Red Bull because
basically,
you're
essentially
basically their spokesperson.
I'm talking Bull. So if it was up to me, that's what I'd do. But because I think Yuki's proven what he can do, and we've seen this so often now that a driver who isn't Max is not representative of their talents in that seat. We saw it with Gasly, we saw it with Albon, saw it with Perez, saw it with Lawson, now seeing it with Tsunoda. That's 5 examples now. Yeah. So it's like, we know how good Yuki can be. We know all of the crying for Yuki to be in that seat, was valid, even though he's not performing right now.
It was, yeah.
It was still like, and so to give him a 26 car that's no Newey fingerprint on it, the design team have got a fresh start, and there's, I'm sure we'll maybe get onto the rumours about Max leaving, blah, 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 all that stuff. They can't bank on Max being in that team forever. Right. Even if he doesn't leave, he's probably going to bugger off after 28 anyway. He said it. He wants to go and race WEC and all that. So they need to set themselves up for success in the future. And
where are they going to put Lindblad then?
Good question.
Well, maybe they'll just let him go to F2.
I mean, that's where, even if Lawson picks it up,
Maybe you just let him go to F2.
Because it feels like Red Bull see Lindblad as their Antonelli, but
it's the fad. It's a new hot thing. Skipping F2.
I mean, there are trends like that. It's kind of like it works for one team, and then all of a sudden everyone else wants to do it. Yep. Okay, Williams, this is gonna be a good one for you, my man. And I gotta say, it's a good one for me too, because at the beginning of the year, I said that Alex Albon. I said that Alex Albon was going to beat Carlos Sainz in the points. I said it was going to be. I said it was going to be close, but I said the changing of the team. I think that Albon, his junior career, everyone talks about. It's like he was up there with these guys that everyone lauds as the greats, and he got his ass scared by Franco Colapinto last year, and he's got a big dog coming into the house, and it's time for him to step up to the fucking plate, and he's fucking done it. And everyone in the comment section was telling me that I was a fucking idiot.
I feel you, man. I feel you, because I said the exact same thing in my preseason. I was like, Albon will outscore Sainz, it will be close.
And hey, it might not even be fucking close.
Yeah.
We were wrong. It's not going to be close.
You got to take those wins when they come.
How you like me now?
What do you two make of Williams? Interesting. Go on. You start, and I'll jump in.
We were out on. We hate Williams.
Okay. We were out on Val's. I wasn't buying the hype. We have
another guy who looks the part.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just judge based on how out of central casting you are.
Yeah, vibe check. You pass the vibe check.
I think that from the bits that we've seen this year, when they were on their high, I kind of feel like, okay, and given his track record, the teams that he's been intimately a part of, I am off of the Val's as a fraud watch.
Well done.
I'm holding it down.
That's holding it down.
I'm doubling down.
We are kind of a little bit on the Toto might be on there. I think we got stank. I think Val's caught some stank from Toto from us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm kind of I do kind of believe in the project, and I think that in the next couple of years they'll be good.
Well, it's just kind of interesting because when they're doing well, they say, "Well, look at James Vowles. Look at what a genius he is," and now they suck. Well, they're in a shitty spiral, and everyone's like, well, he's focusing on 2026. It's like, shut up. Which one is it?
There's a lot of room. He's given a lot of wiggle room.
If you bet on everything, then you always win.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, I think that there have been some pretty bad. I mean, the retirement for Alex in Austria was the same issue he'd had at previous race in the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is never a good bad. You make a mistake, you need to learn from it, right?
Yeah.
So they're not, and obviously science is car issues. So there's definitely Albon has said 27. He feels like that's the opportunity to actually fight at the very top. They still need 26 apparently. Setting expectations, right? But I don't know. I think that Williams, how much of it is they are improving. DeRilton's putting their hand in their pocket as well,
right?
Because they are kind of the American team now in a way.
Yep.
big American money, big bags, you should be on board.
Yeah, we love American financiers over here. That's what we love.
Oh, yes, indeed. I think that, look, I think there's a lot of
VC
history.
companies. Let's go, American Venture Capital. Private equity or whatever.
I voted for Mamdani, dude. Okay, I did not vote for Cuomo.
Yeah.
I think that James Vowles has done he's been extended. He's had his contract extended. I think he's done a very good job. I think that I say this year they've left a lot of points on the table. I will say that. So actually, like relative to where they maybe should be, I'm gonna give them a B minus.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you asked me a couple of races ago, I'd say they got 5th place locked up, but now with their retirements and Aston's faster now and Sauber's faster now and maybe Liam's getting some form.
Yeah, I mean,
that 5th place might be ripe for the plucking.
I think Albon probably would have got P6 if not for his car getting kaput in Austria. I think they're still the 5th quickest car, I would say, maybe on average. But Haas have got upgrades this weekend, so maybe they jump up. Like, I would say that I think most of Sainz's struggles I attribute more to Williams than I do to Carlos, because we know how good Carlos is. And like,
what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but you got to be like, it's because Albon's that good. You've been on the Albon train forever, and now you're not.
Long game, Matt. All right,
Okay,
now tell the long game here.
What is the long game?
It's off screen. Come on, we keep this one quiet. All right, this is all part of the strategy. Okay, we gas Sainz up, and then when Albon keeps beating him,
I see.
and the quiet part out loud.
You're
God.
playing 4D chess.
Mate,
I'm playing.
trust me,
playing
Albon-
tic-tac-toe. with
Albon's
Poop.
the greatest driver. I mean, Sainz is the greatest driver, maybe of this generation, and Albon is beating him.
That's why Nico Rosberg
make that
loves to
argument,
gas up
absolutely.
Lewis. He's like, he's the best driver ever, and
it's
I
so,
beat him.
it's so transparent when he does it.
Yeah. This guy's incredible. I mean, to just get one win off him is
it felt like, Sainz figured out the car. Some people were like, wait till he figures out the car. And then he had those few, I think 3 races in a row where he out-qualified Albon.
Yep.
And then people were like, kind of like, it's over, party's over.
Yeah.
And, the party's just begun.
And then I will say this, and I said this before, but what do you think of like Carlos Sainz being a main character? I feel like F1 has made him a main character. And then when he had the Q1 exit in Austria, and it was his 3rd one in a row.
3 in a row, yeah.
And there's a lot of like, something's wrong with the car. And then they're showing him, the F1 TV showed 3 different times him struggling with the car. And the announcers, the pundits, Anthony Davidson or whoever it was like, wow, look, man, that's not the driver. Look at how he's driving. It's like when Hulkenberg gets knocked out in Q1, they don't spend 20 minutes explaining how he got knocked out of Q1 and beaten by his teammate, right? The amount of grace that he is given.
He is, but he's also a race winner last season.
No, that's true.
And he outqualified, he won in Mexico. He outqualified Charles about 1/3 of the time during that entire stint as Ferrari. So I think that's the credit almost he built up. That we're still kind of like, yeah, exactly that. Like, I think that's why, I still, like, I'm uncross my legs. I've said this before. I still think if you have both Alex and Carlos with equal understanding of a top car, Carlos has proven he can put it on pole. Carlos has proven he can win races. Alex hasn't done that yet. So I would give the slight advantage to Carlos.
You worry that that Alex maybe is just also more like used to these shitty cars as opposed to...
Yeah, look, you're fighting for points. Like, okay, cool. Like, but podiums and wins is a different ballgame.
Yeah, we see this with Lando Norris. Like, when the car improves, just the pressure just ratchets up. And to be good in the midfield is a lot different than be good at the top.
All right, what would you grade these boys?
Alex, I would give him A minus. It's not been perfect, but it's been very strong. Carlos, he's been unlucky, so I'd say C+. It's not been quite as... I was expecting better. I thought gap at the start, and then Carlos closes the gap as the year goes on, but the gap's not closed up. Right. That's the problem. And it has been unlucky, but also...
A problem for some people, a solution for others.
I like it. Okay. You know what I realized the other day? I hadn't had a root beer in ages.
like a real root beer, the kind that makes you feel like a little kid again with that creamy vanilla taste. And so I went down to the store and I got myself a mug root beer, and that's who this episode is brought to you by. Now listen, everyone talks about having that dog in you, right? In Formula One, do you have that? Does Lando Norris have that dog in him? I think he does. And when I drink my mug root beer, I feel like I got that dog inside of me. And I need Lando Norris to get that dog inside of him, which is why I'm going to be shipping him a case of mug root beer. Because mug root beer, honestly, it's the same thing as Formula One. It's unfiltered. It's bold. It's a little chaotic. It's a little chaotic if you're not ready for it. Mug root beer makes me feel like a little kid again, which is also how I feel when I watch Formula One. This season's been thrilling, and I feel like I'm back in middle school cracking open a root beer, which is why I've been drinking my mug root beer this entire season. So when's the last time you had a mug? Next time you're looking to have fun or just take a 5-minute break, crack yourself open a mug root beer and go to mugrootbeer.com/fine-mug to find out how you can get your paws on some mug. Ooh, ooh. Now we're in our top 4. And it's Red Bull here, isn't it? Red Bull, 4th place.
Jesus.
So Yuki Tsunoda A+.
Well, we got to give them all. We got to give them all A's, right?
Well, do we?
Oh, Yuki needs an A, obviously, for you to get out of this building alive. And then you two talking Bull, so Red Bull's getting an A.
Look, okay. At no point did I stipulate. I was like, I'm always going to speak my mind about Red Bull. Right. I'm not going to sugarcoat. Like, I'm fair. I'm fair. All's fair in love and war.
Yes.
Yuki has. Yuki has. Give me that Red Bull. Yuki has clearly struggled because he was decent relative to Hadjar. Like at the start of the season, when those 2 races he had in the VCARB, which is easy to forget about, like he was pretty strong. Like in those 2. Yeah, I mean Yuki's. You have to give him a F. Like, well, you have to, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, There's been
don't have to do anything. I mean, you have free will. You can do whatever you want.
F+ then.
F+.
Sorry, you have to. Like, there's been Japan free practice a couple of times.
You better not get hit by a car on the way home because they're gonna blame me.
A couple of like Q1s where he's been somewhat close to max in maybe the first lap, but then in the second lap he's got not like. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say. It's the hand has been dealt, and it's a situation that many drivers have come before him, and they've been Fs as well.
Yes.
So,
F+.
So,
Okay,
sorry, Yuki. But
I know.
I'm sure he'd agree.
Like,
I'm sure he'd agree.
Yeah.
Like, it's not been good. Max. Actually, Max has had an amazing season. I think a lot of it comes down to how much do you take away from him for what happened in Spain. So, how much do you take off him? Because it's a S,
right?
Without that,
yeah.
With that,
I still think it's an S. I think,
but it's a big that's
S-.
It's a move that will be probably talked about for like the rest of his career. And it didn't happen in some. We've seen these moves before, but then they've been talked about in drivers with that same kind of, and those drivers are some of the greats, Schumachers, the Sennas. Taking things too far, crashing out, but it wasn't for like a championship like those guys did. So I think, but it will be a stain. It's like when we were kids, it's always like that's going to go on your permanent record. Yeah. This is like that was a permanent record moment. It feels like. I think the difference. So people reference back to Mexico last year, right, with Lando. Yeah.
Now that was deserved a penalty. I think it deserved more of a penalty, to be honest, at the time. And it was egregious, but it served a purpose.
Right.
It kept Lando behind, it held him up, and it you play to your outs, right?
Yeah.
That was playing the rules somewhat.
Yeah, like it playing to you play with the rules.
It was tactical,
right? Yeah, it was tactical. Spain there was no gain at all to be made from it. He only lost. There was nothing possible to gain from that. It was just a head loss moment, and that you have to acknowledge that was a weakness showing itself. That he boiled over and he did something that he apologised afterwards, like it was obviously something he wouldn't do again because he only hurt his race by doing that, and there's no way that that's a tactical positive.
So a couple of I don't know 4 or 5 races ago we did it with Gunther, and I think the justification we're giving him an S is because he was maximizing every weekend and he didn't make any mistakes. Now he's made one pretty boneheaded mistake.
And so he lost a lot of points from doing it.
Yes.
It's a big mistake.
Yep.
And he almost got him a race ban.
Yep.
So can you make one mistake like that and still get an S? Maybe not.
S minus.
S minus.
I'll give him A plus.
A plus.
A plus.
Okay.
It's a shame because other than that, he's been so like Suzuka was a joke.
Yeah.
That quali lap was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right.
To hold off the McLaren's all race was like he's had some unbelievable performances this year. It's a shame, but you can't ignore it.
F plus for Yuki, A plus for Max.
Yeah.
Where would you give Red Bull? This team.
Yeah, I think it's the car is what it is. Whether you put Yuki or Liam or anyone else in, like they're going to struggle with it. They have to just try and get through the season. I mean, considering where they were, how competitive the package was, you can look back to things Checo used to say about the car, blah, 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 didn't act on it, whatever. I think they're still able to give Max a car that he can win Grand Prix in. Like, I know it's Max with his clutch gene in him, but like, so
I feel like operationally they haven't been quite as good.
Even
They
some
used
strategy
to even
stuff.
some
I mean,
strategy
in that same race
That's
where Max,
true.
it's like they put him on the hards. Even dummies like us were like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah, like they've lost Wheatley. They lost one of their top mechanics to Sauber. I want to say, like, their standard hasn't been as exemplary as it has been in the past. I think I give them a B.
Okay.
I think
I'd give it
B.
like a C plus, honestly.
Yeah, maybe I'm at B minus, B.
Yeah,
that
B
kind
minus,
of area.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like considering where they
that's
were,
fair.
and it is kind of slipped a
I
bit.
think that's fair. All right. Mercedes-Benz recently been taken over by Ferrari for they're in third.
1 point between them. I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, look, I think George is driving unbelievably. I can't think of a clear thing that he's done wrong this season.
Yeah.
He's been great. Like loads of podiums.
And yet, no race seat.
No.
Well, I don't know. Do you think that's legit? If you had to put money on it today,
It's like Love Island. It's like Love Island.
He's going to be there next year.
As a reserve
I
driver.
think it's. I think
as Valerie.
he's going to be in the seat. Why is he embarrassing him on a public stage like this?
Because Toto's not closed off yet.
Toto has a
He's still
humiliation. He has a humiliation fetish.
It-
He loves to humiliate other people.
he only
Including
gave,
himself. Including
one
himself.
person, George Russell. He loves to humiliate George Russell.
he only gave Bottas 1 year extensions. He always left Lewis's contract till super late. The only thing I can think is that he's playing some kind of game. But then he's publicly being like, yeah, we're talking with Max about the future. But you've got a driver. You could argue, right? Russell at 27, same age as Max.
Yes.
Antonelli, 18. All this, like they've got a pairing for the present and the future. Like, and if you fully believed in them two, you wouldn't even entertain Max, who will probably leave after 28 anyway.
Right.
So there's clearly something there. And George, do you see his interview with Karun on Sky? That was quite telling.
What did he say?
Because he said, every team's got 2 seats, so why should I be worried? So almost like if you're going to drop anyone, you drop Antonelli. Like basically alluding to that. And like basically saying, yeah, like I've got nothing to worry about driving the way I am, which I agree.
Yeah.
I'm
In a rational world.
Where would
Spoiler alert,
right.
I'm probably going to put him as driver of the season
Yeah.
in my, because I think he's an S.
Are you put him on
Oh,
S?
you've
Yeah.
given
Let's
him
go.
S.
Like, what, like, all right, Rule Britannia, like, call me British bias all you like. What's he done wrong? Like, I think he's maximised that package.
I'm with you, dude.
He's made
week in, week
enemies
out.
with Max,
I'm
which
with-
probably makes it
love
impossible
it.
for them to be teammates.
But mate, whether they're teammates or adversaries, we need a title fight.
Yeah.
Max versus George. We need
Yes,
that.
we do.
I love it.
Need
George
that.
S. What would you put Kimmy?
Kimi, that Miami sprint pole, amazing. I think he's had stinky. That puts him into the B bracket.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some bad moments. I think B minus. Antonelli.
That's
He's
fair.
been very impressive.
And the Mercedes organization.
I mean, they still haven't sorted out the same issue they've had for ages, which is tyres too hot. So C should be better.
Should be better.
Not good enough.
All right, Ferrari.
Oh no. Are we Italian media today? Are we Fred out?
I mean, I think it's runs a lot deeper than Fred Vasseur.
Yeah, you're right. I think the senior management at Ferrari, it's almost like Red Alpine. I would say
It is
They're
Red
second
Alpine.
in the champion.
they are second by a point, 1 point,
Yes.
and they are nowhere near McLaren. Mate, Ferrari ended last year as like
Yeah.
pretty much the best team. Like
He went down to the
Charles
last
scored-
race for the constructors.
And now they're like nowhere near. And they changed 99% of the car, quoting Fred Vasseur.
Crazy.
And they've basically gone backwards, which is a massive L.
Yeah.
C- Ferrari for me. But Charles been sick. I think Charles.
Yeah. What would you grade
He
Charles?
had that couple of
He had one moment.
incidents. Yeah.
Yeah.
A.
He keeps throwing it away in free practice and then starting on the back foot.
He makes it hard for himself,
Yes.
doesn't he? Yeah, he's making his A for sure.
Okay. And what about Lewis?
Won the sprint in China. It's been tough other than that. B- probably for Lewis.
He's slotting in right behind Charles, which is not what you want if you're Lewis Hamilton. But
Yeah, he's 10 seconds beyond Charles in Austria, which isn't terrible, but I think I don't see him beating Charles many weekends for the remainder of his time in F1.
yeah.
All right. And the last, certainly not least,
McLaren.
the boys in orange.
Whew. Okay. Look, I mean, McLaren, you've got to give them as a team.
Yeah.
They've executed perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've managed their drivers pretty well. They've bought themselves the ability to be super like Zach Brown, love racing, like let them race, whatever. Like, so fair play to them for that. I can't not give them an S, surely, McLaren. Like, what negative is there?
Kind of annoying. Can we ding them for being annoying?
Yeah, they've been
kind
a
of
little bit
cringe?
annoying about it.
But excellence
Yeah.
doesn't come with fans all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Excellence
At
usually is.
least they're giving the fans what they want.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And credit
Yeah.
to McLaren
Yes.
for doing that, because it would have been that would be naive if Ferrari and Mercedes were up there in the fight, but they're
Right,
not.
they're
so
not.
they can do that,
Yeah.
like it was with Mercedes in 14, 15,
Right,
16. And then Lando, Lando, B plus.
Wow.
He has,
Yep.
with all his experience, he should be leading this championship. He's blown opportunities way too often, but he's still Monaco, Austria, like Australia at the start, first race of the season was blinding in that race. Like, you can't ignore those things, but with his,
Right.
he's got the equipment to be doing better.
Let's also remember that first race, and I'm a Lando guy, but as Oscar's now ahead 15 points, but in that first race, Lando won. He started the season with a 24-point lead after the first. So it's been 15 points on top of that.
It's been slipping.
So all right, B plus.
B plus, Oscar, A.
Interesting. We got a lot of shit when we gave him an A. Everyone's like, he's leading the championship.
He's an S.
He's got to be an S.
Oh, an S. Yeah.
How could you not give him an S? Well, because if we're saying like he's made some, he threw it away I mean, that was crazy. That was a very difficult situation in
was
Australia.
difficult.
I wouldn't say he threw it away. I think he got Lando almost was in the grass just right.
Yeah, it could have easily happened.
Been either one of them.
And they were the first to hit that patch of the track. So, maybe an A plus then. I don't know. Like, he's about
What's holding you back from the S? Because he can't beat Lando Norris consistently?
Yeah, like, he's not beaten Lando every single time. And I think that there's been times where Lando's just been flat out quicker. Like in Austria, Lando was just quicker all weekend, even though he didn't get an FP1 because Dunn was in the car. Right. And he was still quicker than...
Right. It feels like Lando's been a mess and he's still kind of like around.
I think in the races, Oscar can't really have done more, but I think he's still missing a bit in quali. So maybe A plus, maybe A plus, maybe. And
people are still arguing in qualifying. Is Oscar beating him or is Lando throwing it away?
Yeah, I think Lando is quicker. If Lando nails his lap and Oscar nails his lap, I think Lando's got him just by like half a tenth. But in the races, Oscar's just so good.
Yeah,
but then
his racecraft.
Lando's defense was great in Austria. So
his offense was not as good.
Yeah, we don't talk about
Canada. My parents live in a doorman building, and they have a guy who's on the door. His name is Oscar, but he's a huge Lando fan.
Oh,
and he drove all the way up to Canada. He's like, yeah, I drove up and just to see that. I mean, to be a Lando Norris fan, imagine driving like 8 hours to see Lando just clatter into the back of his teammate. That's tough.
It's iconic. And Jacques Villeneuve tried to blame Oscar for it. I'm like, bro. Just because that just goes to show, just because you've got an F1 world title does not make your wheel knowledge any better than any of us.
No, his wheel knowledge is perfect because we have an episode coming out with him later this week. And
yeah, well, I'm not in it, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it was Oscar's fault, but because Oscar defended perfectly, beautifully.
Cool.
We had Davide on, and he was talking about the kind of brilliance of how slowly Oscar closed that gap on the inside.
Because if he had done it quickly, then Lando could have reacted and gone the other way.
Yeah, because Lando went for a gap for a reason because he thought it was going to exist.
Right.
It just didn't when he got there.
Yep.
Overspeed.
And if you no longer go for a gap that doesn't exist, then you are no longer Lando Norris. All right.
Yeah.
That's the season. What would you give this season so far? Where's the season going to rank for you?
Okay, well, something like 2021 is obviously an S because there's some iconic seasons there. 2010, I'd give it a solid B.
Right.
Solid B. We've got a fight. We've got a scrap for a title, and that's that. So that makes it a absolute minimum, like a C.
Where would you put like 2016? Because that's the closest thing we have to this season in recent memory is the 2016 Rosberg Hamilton.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm trying to just remember how I felt about that season at the time because it was late on. Obviously, Lewis had that engine failure, didn't he, towards the end, and then Nico. Was close at Abu Dhabi. I think this is better than 2016. I'd say,
but they don't seem to hate each other. There's not as much animosity
yet. Is the key word.
I saw someone who said
isn't that Meghan Markle podcast where she's like the really important word is yet.
Yes. The power of yet.
The power of yet.
They don't hate each other.
The power of yet.
They don't hate each other yet. I did see someone. I think so. Maybe on our Patreon, one of our Patreon members says that the only person that doesn't realize that Oscar Piastri is Lando's enemy is Lando. That like once
But I just hope. I think Lando's. I feel like something's changed. I think. As long as he's learning from these mistakes, I think we're going to see a title fight to the end. I do.
I think Oscar's feeling that. I think like after the race, like there was a couple. I think in one of the interviews they said like you have a comfortable lead, and he goes, "Is that I don't know what makes you feel comfortable? I don't feel comfortable with this lead at all."
Yeah.
And how angry he was getting on the radio. Like I feel like we're starting to see Oscar come out of that shell.
Yeah.
And if we can get both of these guys like at the top of their game, slugging it out, I think it has the opportunity.
And the longer the season goes on, the fewer points are available and the more intense it's going to get. Like I'm buzzing for this.
All right.
It's going to be good.
Prediction for the season and prediction for Silverstone. Silverstone's about to happen. Prediction for the season, then we'll be done.
Oof. Yeah, because I think Lando, Oscar, it goes either way, doesn't it? If it's huge for whoever wins that, it's huge momentum wise.
Yeah.
I'm going to say on home turf that the heavens open, the temperature comes down, and George Russell wins.
I think I predicted that. I think I said that too.
I don't even remember what I
Maybe it's
said.
not a wet race, but it just gets cooler, so the Mercedes can actually win.
It's hot as balls right now, but it's about to get.
And they won last year.
There's a cold front coming in. Yeah, they did.
Listen, we'll see. I think George to win the Silverstone.
Okay, nice. and the championship.
I said Oscar at the start of the year, and I'm going to say Oscar is still going to win it.
Braver than this guy over here.
Yeah, I think
Oscar at the beginning of the year.
What did I say?
I don't know, but you for some reason you were like, I don't know. I don't think.
Well, I think I was just a big Max believer.
You thought it was me, Max.
Yeah. I just can't rule that guy out. That guy's a zombie.
Yeah, I think now it's at 61 points.
Yeah,
I think it's too much for Max. But I think out of the McLaren boys, you got like Oscar's got 55, 56 starts to his name. Lando's got about 130, 140, that kind of range. So like each race is a bigger learning curve for Oscar. Oscar's going to be, I think Lando's still got things to work on and can improve, but Oscar's learning more and more each time. And I think that
terrifying.
Yeah, that's the
that
prospect.
Floor, his floor is really high, and if that ceiling continues to get high, then
And it should he's only in his third season. Yeah. He's not even done 3 full years in F1.
All right, I love it. Wait, well, you've got so much going on too. You're hosting. Do the little plug.
Do the plug.
I'm doing my own thing on my own channel, Tommo. Podcast, Tommo's Race Chinwag, and hosting Talking Ball this year, which is Red Bull's podcast with Nicola Hume. And they sent me out to Monaco to interview Max, and I was shitting myself, and it was really fun. And appreciate having me on, boys. Pleasure. Go and like, subscribe, comment. Algorithm.
Yeah.
Actually, should we put a buzzword to put in at the end here? Right, what's this a word for everyone who gets this end of the podcast?
Ooh, yeah.
Word to put in so people have got to the end.
Okay.
The word is enchanté.
Enchanté.
Stick it in the comments. My name's Tommo. Your name's
See, this is why he's a success.
Your name's
'Cause I didn't even know
Brian.
that this was a thing. I'm Matt.
Brian,
and my name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.
let's talk about it. Goodbye, Bangers.